Live from our studios, just steps from the fabulous Las Vegas Strip, it's The Business Lounge with your host, David Wright.
Hi, I'm David Wright, your host of The Business Lounge, where we talk to real people about real business and real success. With me today, I have Angelique Daniels. She is the owner and sole proprietor of The Shoe Chick. Angelique, thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
You know, the other day when we were talking, I was truly amazed at how you've bundled your life around your business. So would you let the audience know a little bit about who Angelique is?
Well, I am a wife, a mother of two, a restaurant manager, an entrepreneur, an author, a professional speaker, and I think that's about it.
So it's, you've got me beat. I'm just trying to do a show. So help me understand how you came up with the concept. And I'm just going to tell the audience just a little bit about this, in that you really have a mobile store concept that you started with. So
Yes.
How did you come up with the name, The Shoe Chick, and also how did you decide that this was going to be a mobile retail environment?
Well, you know what? That's a really good question. There was a lot of thought that went into every step. The name, The Shoe Chick, I was looking to attract a younger clientele because I was attracting a lot of customers like myself, which there's nothing wrong with that, but you always want to be attractive to the younger generation for longevity. So that's why the name of my business is the Shoe Chick. As far as the mobile concept, I was going around with shoes, selling them out of suitcases and calling myself mobile in that sense. But one day I saw the UPS guy messing around in the back of his truck, and I thought, you know, I need something like that, something you could really get into and stand up and move around. And, you know, when you visualize something, how just it shows up. And I went on Craigslist and it just showed up. But I've also learned that you have to be very specific when you're looking for something or when you visualize something that you want. Because I didn't say brand new shiny truck, I just said a truck. And this truck, it was not brand new, and it was definitely not shiny. I worked really hard for it.
You know, when we were having a conversation the other day, and I want to talk about some of those challenges too, but I did learn that there's a whole mobile association for retail. Exactly. And this is not something that people may be aware of, but it's basically nationwide, that there are a number of people who now have mobile retail. Mm-hmm. Looking at that, how has that reinforced your decision? And when I say that, a lot of times we think as an entrepreneur that we're the only ones doing something, and then you find out, because I didn't know, because you know, when you and I talked, I said, well, that's really cool. I wonder if anybody else is doing that. And what I discovered was there were quite a few people doing that. So how did that really help you solidify what you were doing? And then talk to me about this truck, because I understand this truck was a gem and you had some challenges with it.
I did. Well, first, I think whenever you have a concept for business, you should go Google it, because chances are it's already being done. There's really very few new ideas, just ways to make it better, I think. But I stumbled upon the American Mobile Retail Association. They happened to be on the Today Show. So I connected with them, and I'm a member. It's very important to develop the right relationships, and that was definitely the right relationship for me, because they know how to write coding, proposals, go to the cities, and you're right. There are mobile retail businesses all across the country, but there's none in Las Vegas, except for me right now, doing retail. I do resale shoes, purses, excuse me, and accessories. So that relationship building is so very important. Moving forward, moving back towards how I initially got the truck and how much work it was, it was a lot of work. But you know, God will put the right people in front of you to help you out. I had a former employee from the restaurant I managed. He had a garage. He let me park it there. He showed me what to do, and I did it. It was the hardest work, honestly, that I've ever done.
But you're a better person for it, right?
I definitely am. I could show someone how to do it. I could show them what they need to get started in the mobile retail business. And as I told you, I do many things. So the mobile retail industry, I think, is the wave of the future because you get to set your own hours. You don't have to have someone there every day to man it. The startup costs are low. It's a really good startup if you want to get out there and see how great your products are, or if you want to see what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I think you can't go wrong.
So talking about that entrepreneurship, I understand that you're kind of in transition, and you know, you actually manage a restaurant, and I won't mention the name, but you could if you chose to.
Yes.
You manage a restaurant basically full time, and then you also have your business. So talk to people what your thoughts were when you looked at making that transition from being an employee to being an owner. Talk a little bit about what transpired there.
Well, I've been very blessed in that I work part-time for the Olive Garden, and part-time is 3 days a week, but can range anywhere from 30 to 36 hours, as you know, in the restaurant business. So I've been very fortunate to be able to work for such a large brand as Darden Restaurants and the Olive Garden. I learned a lot of things about branding and marketing, how to manage people, of course, some marketing strategies, leadership skills, just so many things that I've learned from being a restaurant manager that I've been able to take on and utilize it in my model, my business model for the Shoe Chick store. I did have a few employees at one time. I was carrying a specific line of shoes, but I changed my business model to keep up with what's going on in the world right now. People really wanted a bargain, you know, and I had great shoes. It was an interchangeable shoe line. I was doing 3 different lines of shoes, but the price point was about $100, which it was worth it, but it was sometimes a hard sell. But I've realized by listening to my customers and what's going on in the world, even though we're coming out of this recession, people want a bargain. So I changed my business model to resale shoes and purses and accessories. I take donations. You get a discount to the store if you donate. So it's been a smart, I think, transition. I actually haven't had a grand opening for this new concept. We're going to do that next month in September. So it's been a really enlightening experience. And my big thing is just engaging all my gifts and talents, you know, and being able to put that into my business. Because if you don't like what you're doing, what's the point in doing it?
So in looking at that, do you have a time off into the future where you may decide that you're going to do this full time?
You know, I don't know where God is leading me with this, to be honest with you. I really love my truck. I really love talking to women about entrepreneurship, people about entrepreneurship, and sharing what I've done to inspire them to do it as well. Because a lot of people think they don't have time. You know, I made the time to fix that truck. Nothing changed. I was still a mom, a wife, a restaurant manager, a speaker, all this stuff. And I found time, which I would have never thought I would have found time to flip this truck into something nice that people can walk into and shop and all that. So I really like to talk to people about not putting their dream on hold, you know, to work towards it in any capacity that you can. So eventually, I really love the truck so much that I do see myself having a fleet of trucks one day. But we'll see what happens, you know.
You know, we had sat down and talked a little bit a couple of weeks ago, and we had talked about some of the things that you may consider, and not only a fleet of trucks, but you really, it seemed to me, had a passion for teaching others how to do this retail business.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at that, what would be your crowning achievement if you were to have one, or your legacy? What would that look like for you?
My legacy? I would say my legacy, I guess, what would I want to be remembered for, I guess, would be just someone that didn't put their dreams on hold, that engaged all their gifts and talents, and gave back, because that's an important piece. I want to give back by inspiring other women, and I've also partnered with a charity called Mariah's House, and it's in its very grassroots stages, and we're hoping to open this facility to help women get out of sex trafficking. So it'll be a safe house for them with resources. So that's really important to me. Finding a mentor is important for everyone. So I love mentoring other people and inspiring them to, you know, just, I have a program right now called, it says from flip-flops to stilettos, from comfort to confidence, getting out of that comfort zone and stepping into your greatness or your confidence. So I hope I'm known for inspiring other people, even if I don't make a whole lot of money.
But it would be nice,
yes,
right?
It's always nice. That's the American
if you could
dream,
pay
right?
the bills. Yes. It's always nice if you can pay the bills. So if you were going to give one piece of advice to not only a young lady, but maybe a young man that's out there trying to make this decision and trying to make a decision for their future in regard to becoming an entrepreneur, aside from getting a mentor, which is really important.
Yes, it is.
What other advice would you give them?
Well, that was going to be my number one. As soon as you open it, find a mentor, find someone that's doing exactly what it is that you want to do and that's successful at it and following their footsteps. But number two, I'd say research. Do as much research as you can. In today's world, we have so much information at our fingertips. You know, there's no reason why everyone shouldn't be following their passion in some capacity, because the information is right there. I'm constantly reading, following other people, trying to get in those environments where I want to be. Never stop learning. You know, through your mentor or on your own. You can't invest all your time and energy in one person when you do find a mentor. You have to go out and search on some things by yourself and be a risk taker. Don't be afraid. That's big, and follow your passion. But don't be afraid, you know.
Yeah, I think Edison said it probably the best. He said, I didn't find 10,000 failures. I found 10,000 ways it didn't work. So
right.
With that, it's time for the shameless plug. So, so if you want to let people know how they can get a hold of you, look right there and let them know.
Okay, my name is Angelique Daniels. You can find me at theshoechickstore.com. You can find me on Facebook at The Shoe Chick Store. You can find me on Instagram at The Shoe Chick, and on Twitter at The Shoe Chick Las Vegas.
Angelique, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you taking time out of your multifaceted, extremely busy life to spend a few minutes with us here today. From the Business Lounge, where we talk to real people about real success and real business, this is Dave Wright. Have a pleasant day.